I got this cool thing to show you. Really, man? Yeah, it's far out and technical and stuff. Awesome. Yeah. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Cool.
One. Hey, good morning. Happy Monday morning to you. We are the Tech Shamans. I am John Gass. This is Adam Miles, and this is, say it right. Say it right.
Anthony Sakovich.
I see.
Yes.
We had a new name, but it's all right.
Yeah, we had
it's no big deal.
conversations earlier.
Anyway, we have a lot to talk about because we haven't been on the air in 2 weeks. So, no fault of these guys. It's always been my fault. So, we had technical issues, and we have the little. I'll tell you, we have ghosts. We still have the ghost of the machines, man. They're just the water ghosts. Are just they're just rearing their ugly head. We're literally 98% running now.
The ghost of water.
And it's all these little bitty stupid things are coming out and popping us on. It's just horrible. I mean, trust me. Well, if that one ghost of the machine girl comes out, I'm okay with that because she's hot. But anyway, so we're going to jump right into this because we have a ton. We're going to talk about. One thing we're going to talk about today is consistency.
Oh,
and this is going to come from Anthony. And I'll tell you right now, that's a huge. And here I am. We're going to preach consistency. We can't even be here every Monday, and that's against my fault. So we're going to be more consistent, and then we're going to talk to you about safety, the doom of 7. Oh, yes. Poor 7's going to go away. And you know what? We also tell you, if you're gonna have a computer, you're gonna be on the road. A VPN's the way to go, but they're not infallible.
Yes.
So we're gonna talk about that, and then I'm gonna talk to you about some cool video stuff because there's a couple. Someone else is getting into the realm of having their own little dongle to go to your TV. I mean, it's eventually going to be like we're going to need 9 HDMI ports on the back of. It's getting bad. I mean, it's real. Well, yeah. There is a machine. There is a very nice HDMI switcher out there that you plug everything into, and you only do one port.
Right.
But the problem is you're back to you got to have a remote for it. So there's one more thing to pop over and blah blah blah. But anyway, we're going to start off with VPNs. And how they can be hacked.
Yes.
Let's talk about this because I'm a big believer in VPNs. I've always thought that I was safe. So
basically, on the VPN services, they generate what they call like private keys that tells the general public that the server that you're connecting to is a legitimate server. And those keys eventually expire. Well, they left one open, NordVPN to be exact, left one open to the general public in which it could then be taken and used to spin up fake replica servers of NordVPN. Well, when you have the NordVPN client on your computer and you connect to the server, it obviously looks out there on the internet for the server that's closest to you. And if it found a fake tunnel that was spun up, all the internet traffic from that client would then push through somebody else's server, thinking it was NordVPN's. They've now corrected the issue, but unfortunately, that's the case. So here, the end users thinking that they're doing everything right, yet allowing all their internet traffic to be passed through a fake server that can also be collected and utilized against them at some point in time. Personal information, banking information.
And Nord was like number 1.
Yes. They were pushed hard by a lot of places, if I'm not mistaken.
I used Nord and I used Proton.
Didn't Pirate Bay
yes, Pirate Bay.
Pushes them a lot? Yep. So, everybody thinking that you're being safe and stuff, nothing's infallible. You can always, get by something. And, when you're trying to put all your ducks in, one basket or, however, eggs in one basket, however you want to say it,
yep.
There's always a potential for failure.
That's why it's so important to do the updates and,
yes.
To make sure, because I know with WordPress, okay, whenever they have a plugin or a new version, if you don't update, then in 30 days, they make that knowledge public.
Yes.
Of oh, look, here's the weakness on this system, and here's how you can hack into it.
Right. Well, they have to tell everybody.
And they, because it's basically open source.
Right.
And so, I mean, to a certain extent. But, then you have, but people just don't run their updates.
Right.
And so you end up,
Oh, you mean a
people who
post
run
update
around.
all the time?
Be quiet, John. The,
My wife would love for me to get some updates.
yeah,
I'm telling you right
which
now.
is why we now have auto update software, which I really, really like.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go over the top 10 VPNs. Okay, and this is supposed to be some of the best, and I'll put this link on our page. Is Nord, number 1. Number 2 is Surfshark. Number 3 is Proton, which is the one I use. Number 4 is Private VPN. Number 5 is my favorite. I actually used these guys for a while. It's called Hide My Ass. And they actually have a donkey. That
I was
looks
just
like
gonna
he's-
say,
they
this is
have
gonna be
a donkey with he looks like he's CIA. He's got the black glasses on. He's out there. I like him just because of that. And the Express VPN, ZenMate is number 7. Pure VPN, Safer VPN is number 9, and Viper VPN is number 10. I used to use Viper a while back, but they turned into not so great.
Yeah.
So then I just jumped on Nord like everybody else did, which I like them. I don't think they're the best. I still like Proton better. I think it's better, easier for me to use. So that's just me. So I'll put a link in the description of the show in the Google. I mean, in the it is Google in YouTube, as well as when we upload this up to Facebook. Because I'm not sure if we're on Facebook today or not. Because Facebook has been weird lately again. Now they're in trouble again. So, but yeah, so anyway, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but so they can be infallible. They're not perfect.
No, they're not perfect.
But it does keep us a little more.
Yes, it can keep you a little more secure if you're connecting to either private networks at home, or if you're trying to make sure if you're getting onto like a public network, and you want to make sure that the server that you're connecting to is legitimate and stuff, then you use your VPN service to tunnel through their internet access out of range of any potential issues that public service is being provided to you, and then you can feel a little more secure if you're accessing banking information or anything like that.
Yep, just like this weekend, we went to HHN 2019. We stayed at the Westgate. As my brother-in-law's down, so he's a big, huge Harry Potter fan. So my wife took him over to Harry Potter World. We went over. I came over for one day to do the HHN Halloween Horror Nights, and it's kind of funny. I was on the Wi-Fi at the hotel, which was the Westgate. I was sitting in the queue area outside the gates. Not to get in, but I had to reboot the system for our live, and Westgate showed up as one of the Wi-Fi's I could get a hold of. There's no way that the Westgate's Wi-Fi made it to Universal Studios. There's just no way.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there going, wow,
Yep.
Look at that. So they were searching people's phones. So somebody was reading my phone looking at what Wi-Fi's I had been on. And I didn't have my VPN on. I turned it off because I was over at the hotel. So as soon as I put my VPN back on and turned it back on and went live, that one went away. It's kind of funny. It was kind of cool. So, but yeah.
Yeah, especially if you have it set for auto connect.
Yes, I do, because I'm lazy.
Yeah.
Don't be lazy, but I'm lazy. The amount of crap on my phone is amazing. I was watching a story the other day that this is the number one way that people get your information.
Yeah.
Not your laptops, not your computers, not your home computers. It's on your phones. So, but anyway, keep going. I just had to chime in there.
That's it on VPNs. Just needed to
really?
let everybody know that then.
Yeah, they're not infallible.
We spoke about them a couple weeks ago,
Yeah.
and then right afterwards we find out that Nord got
Big hack attack.
hack attack.
So sad.
So wanted to let everybody know.
Come on, Nord. What the heck, man? And then there was something else you wanted to talk to, wasn't it?
The end of Windows 7.
Yeah, the death of 7.
Yes.
True story. I was down at an office the other day, and they had a PC sitting there, and I'm like, let me just log in on this thing because, you're working on your laptop. Let me use this. It's hardwired, right? Yeah, it is. And I open it up, and I'm waiting. The screen finally comes up. It says Windows XP.
Yeah.
Oh, like, this is literally an old 19 years old software on it. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's like XP is great, but that's when I realized this computer probably couldn't even talk to the internet. So never mind.
I'm working right now with a client, and I can't say who they are, but their whole back end server is XP.
Yeah, I see that a lot with servers, and I understand that. I mean, it's like XP's a tank, but when you're working with someone's office computer, on one of the desks in their offices, and you open it up, it's got XP. You're going, what are you doing? Yeah. And where has this computer been?
That means they have software that they can't update anymore.
At all. They can't do anything with it.
What's happening on January 14th of 2020 is Microsoft's going to shut down all updates to Windows 7. Yeah. 7 can still be activated and things like that.
Sure.
But as far as security patches, updates, things like that, unless it's a major security issue, and they have no choice but to push an update because the whole country's looking at them, then they will they'll push it. But for the most part, all support ends January 14th, so you can migrate over to Windows 10 if your company is reliant on Windows 7. And you don't want to upgrade all your software, and it would cost you tens of thousands and thousands of dollars, and you've never planned for this in the past 15 years, and you've decided that you just want to keep prolonging the pain, you can. You can. Right. You can move over to Microsoft Azure servers and spin up basically a virtual machine, and Microsoft will install Windows 7 Professional on it for you, and you can continue to use it with security updates until 2023.
Wow.
So if you need it, you just can't have it in a regular standard desktop environment. You'll have to have it on their servers, in which they have full control over the update packages and things like that. So you can always move your information to the cloud and do that until you can figure out how you're going to process for the next 3 years.
Is that going to be fee-based?
Yeah, it is fee-based. Kind of like how AWS, works for, Amazon's servers and stuff like that too. So, but at least bigger corporations and companies will have the opportunity. They don't have to dump a special lifeline to Microsoft of $25,000 per year to enable support for their environment. They can at least pay a couple dollars. I don't know, anywhere from probably, I know for 30 days Microsoft offers the service for free. And then after
free
that,
always costs you
$45 base price per virtual machine fired up, and then they bill by the hour of compute time. But again, if you're not, if it's not something that's, real detrimental, it's a lot cheaper than saying having to go out and buy the next, QuickBooks and a few other software.
Or software they don't write for.
Right.
So what happens then? Okay, so what happens in 5 or 3 years? Right, 2023 hits, and you're using some software that's so antiquated that they don't. The guy that wrote it's probably dead, and no one's like, I'm not dealing with this.
In a virtual environment, if you spin it up in a virtual machine and have it there, in that aspect, it's in a better environment than it would be if it was on a desktop. On a desktop, for instance, if the computer kicks the bucket and your hard drive fails, there's no way of, there may be, you can recapture that information.
Unless you loaded it from disk.
Right. Or unless you're, using images of your drive. But, in a virtual machine, you can spin up that instance of your computer at any given point at any kind of machine. You can, move it around, download it, install it somewhere else, move it in different environments, and it will just keep firing up and working like nothing ever happened. Right. So there's a good thing to it.
Okay, so I have a question for you. I have a machine. It was a spin-up software. right? And I have the CDs or DVDs, whichever. Can I take those and do an ISO duplicate on a thumb drive in a folder and have that spin up from the thumb drive?
Windows, like for instance, well, yes, if it requires older operating system, then obviously you'll have to have some kind of ISO reading
Right.
software that can mount it as a CD, and then be able to reinstall it. If it's software that can be working with Windows 10 and Windows 8 by default has its own ISO reading built in. So if
You can take all those sets of CDs and put them on a thumb drive
Yep.
and keep them safe.
Correct. And you can launch. You can double click on them like they're a regular software installing package and launch them as the regular CD
And they
in
can
Windows 10.
reinstall or whatever.
Yeah, because I had, when I upgraded from 7 to 10, so I skipped 8 because everybody said skip 8. And,
Yes.
and I lived. But my favorite graphics package, is no longer available, and it was incredibly
Are
antiquated.
you using Corel Draw?
No. And, well, what happened was the company that
Publisher.
that developed
Microsoft
it.
Publishers. What
No,
you've
it
been
wasn't
using.
Microsoft
It's
Publisher.
Clippy.
Stop it.
I'm trying to figure
Remember Clippy?
Oh,
Yeah.
Clippy, yeah.
Paint Shop Pro.
This is hurting. But no, it's none of the above. And it's called just Publisher Pro 2.0.
Oh, I remember that.
Publisher Pro 2.0.
And it was
Pro,
it
yeah.
was amazing and fast and easy to use, and I love using it. And you could even do some 3D effects with it. It was phenomenal.
Yeah, but
and
one thing, it didn't give you vector files. That was
no,
the
it would
problem.
not give you vector. That was the big downside. And so it would. So when I converted over, 10 said, "Okay, let us look at your software and analyze
Yeah.
it." And it said, "Oh, I'm sorry, this software won't work." And I'm like, "Okay, well then I'm not going to 10."
It has to go.
And I'm like, "Okay, do not delete that." And then it went ahead and deleted it.
Of course.
Of course it
And
did.
it's like you asked me, I gave you the answer, you ignored me. I mean, there's nothing worse than feeling unheard, you know. And so I went out to eBay and I found I could buy the 8-disc install kit for 2.0. The problem was they sold the company.
Yeah.
Broadband sold the company, and the new people that bought it. So if you got 3.0, it let you make calendars and gift cards. Like that's an upgrade.
Well, that's what everybody bought it for.
I mean, it was god awful, compared to what you could actually do with the 2.0. And so I got that, and I have it on disk. And so I went ahead and reinstalled. It works fine on 10, by the way.
Oh.
There's absolutely no issue at all.
No,
it works perfectly
and you
fine
can
on
run in
10.
compatibility mode on Windows 10 if you have outdated software that it
Yeah.
says doesn't work.
Didn't
Most
even
of
do
the
that.
time will
It just
work.
ran perfectly.
Well,
Even though they said it wouldn't, and they deleted it for me. Thank you.
Heck,
Well, I
you,
don't know.
you've got a countdown.
I have a countdown on my website of the end of life for
For Windows 7.
Windows
Wow.
7. So just in case you want to,
77 days.
we have 77 days, 80 hours, 42 minutes, and 16 seconds, and it literally is counting down. It literally does count down. This is funny.
And
I
this
was
is like Y2K all over again.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
this
there
is,
we go.
And
For those of us who remember
Planes are going to
Y2K,
drop from the sky.
well, this is mostly for business clients, things like that.
Yeah.
People that should be thinking about their technology. And,
Right.
And I mean, now what does it cost to upgrade from 7 to 10?
Right now, we can move over a system without purchasing any other additional software because of the free upgrade that was available at the
Okay.
time. They didn't shut down the activation servers for the Windows 10. And there's really no way they can because during when you buy an OEM machine, for instance, and you have a license installed on it,
Yeah.
of the product, the vendor itself has all the COAs in a list that are automatically have to be activated on the servers.
Right.
At some point, a hard drive is going to fail. And according to the terms of agreement, you can replace that hard drive and reload your operating system in
Right.
and not have to worry about,
Right.
being a new hardware. So in order to be able to do that, you can upgrade to Windows 10. So using that product code, you can then activate Windows 10 using the Windows 7 COA.
That's that little
Yeah.
little shiny silvery
Right.
sticker on the bottom.
Because
of
as
your
long as
computer
you
or
don't
underneath it.
change the motherboard of the OEM computer that was made by HP, Asus, whoever it was, as long as you don't change that motherboard, that COA license, is tied to that machine forever. And because they can't shut down the activation service because at some point somebody's going to have to reinstall Windows 10, and they're not going to have their product code.
Right.
It's got to be right there, and that's it. So there you go.
Good.
Wow. All right.
No, fun.
Yes.
And
that's cool.
size considerations, is 10 a lot bigger than 7?
No,
Memory
as memory gobbling, no, it's not. Believe it or not, it's runs itself fairly well, even on like Core 2 Duo machines. Microsoft again did not want to, they want their software everywhere. They don't want it, they don't want to limit people. They want to be able to watch everybody. So,
Which makes, yeah, exactly. Well, dude, so yesterday, right, we are walking around Halloween Horror Nights, and you can get a little badgy thing for $10, which I bought. And then you hit a QR code at the end of the house. I'm a little tired, sorry. And at the end of the house, and it tracks you all the way through the house. Which all the way through the park. So they know how long it's taking you to get from house to house to house to house. Now we were given, my earpiece keeps coming out. We were given fast passes.
Right.
Again, we were very lucky that this happened. I'm very grateful. And I'm very, very grateful for the person that did that for me. Thank you very much. Not that I asked them. They just said, "Hey, you go," right? And I'm like, "Yep, here you go." So sweet. But it was amazing. So when I got done, you got a readout going, it took you this long to get through all the houses, blah, 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 blah.
oh really?
Yeah. And it goes, oh, and it appears that you missed one. And I did. I missed it. It started raining, so we kind of got out quickly, and I missed a barcode. So they said, you should go back to that. And I'm like, I can't, because the fast passes, used to be the fast passes were just fast passes, and you could use them all night long, as many times as you want. Not now. Now, one house, one time.
Wait, what?
Yeah, the fast passes are no longer unlimited. You have to, because I tried. I wanted to see, so I walked about. We went to the very last house, the Killer Clowns, and I walked back around. And I said, I want to do that one more time. The guy goes, you have to go normal line. I'm like, well, I got a fast pass. You can open one time, one house.
All houses, one time? Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
one time
I was going to say,
one time per house.
if you're like,
Well,
well, you need to pick a house.
because
Well, how do I know what I want?
Well, before it wasn't.
Yeah.
yeah.
Because we would go a couple times, because we would go back and see what we missed. Or on the way out, we would try to make someone's night that got there, and we'd go, here you go, take our fast passes.
Now, I wonder if they took the fast pass and reduced the price, seeing how they've limited you to at least one time.
No. Fast passes yesterday. I mean, whoever got ours,
Right.
I know who it was, but I'm not supposed to know who
Yeah.
it was. They bought it a while back. But last night, if you tried to buy a fast pass, $160. The ticket only cost you $67 to get in, but the fast pass was $160.
That's ridiculous. That really is, though.
And people were buying them.
But if you bought it a while back,
Right.
you got it for $80.
Yeah. Well, they knew you were going to use it 8 times in one night. So they were going to get you. Now, it's good for the rest of the year, though, right?
No,
Or no,
one time.
just no.
One
But I
night.
mean, a fast pass is only good for the one day you use it. Wow.
One time, one house. So
Yeah.
you can only go to the house one time.
Yeah.
If you're gonna go to the house again, you got to wait in normal line.
Of
And
course.
let me tell you something. Last night, because we're smart, we queue up inside Finnegan's, because we're pass holders.
Right.
So we went to Finnegan's at 4 o'clock, and we figured we'll eat, we'll take our time,
Yep.
and then we'll be good. We'll just, because that's a queue area.
Got it.
Right? So when 6 o'clock hit, Stranger Things line, 185 minutes.
That's really not too bad, though, because I've seen 4
3 hours. Yeah, but 3 hours to wait in line?
hours. No.
No way.
Yeah, we just spent 2 hours in line at Galaxy's Edge for the Millennium Falcon
You're going to
Smuggler's
hate
Run.
me. We went the weekend of the hurricane.
Yeah.
We waited 20 minutes.
No,
Wow.
And you know what? The lines, though, are so experiential and immersive. I didn't mind it at all.
We got to be
walking through
friends
it.
with a family from England. They were a hoot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
This kid had a F Canada hat on. I'm like, that is awesome. And the mom and dad goes, don't encourage him. I'm like, but that is so cool. They're like, she goes like, please, yeah, don't,
Stop,
please don't,
stop, stop.
please don't encourage him. I'm like, okay. But anyway, let's jump on. So, Anthony, consistency.
Oh, God.
Let's talk about consistency.
You know-
and I'm slapping my hand because I let some of our shows get away with it way too much. So,
Well, there are times when it's really important to be consistent. Okay, and then once you've earned the respect of your audience and they understand, like, I don't know, maybe you have a giant flood in your studio, and so you're off for a while as you're still experiencing tech bugs.
Yes.
Okay, but you've earned the right at that point to say, okay, look, we're going to need some time here to get this thing back on track. And but the key is. The tools we have for technology allow us to be so much more consistent now. And a lot of people aren't using them that way. So, for example, we do a lot with our driver sites, and our driver sites allow you to schedule the release of posts and videos and so on, all from the driver site directly. And then, the emails are all scheduled and everything is all run automatically. But what you're doing is, so people are like, oh my God, I got to have it all done this week. I got to have it. No, not really, because you're actually working 2 or 3 weeks ahead. Nobody knows when you're writing the article. They only know when it's released.
right.
So you're going to start your marketing campaign, yeah, but they're actually not going to see anything you're working on right now for a month. And that's how you make sure you're 1, 2, 3 weeks ahead of your weekly schedule.
Right.
So that you're not always under the under the gun to produce right now for what's coming out tomorrow. And that is such a relief to so many people because stuff happens. But I mean, we've got live programs here. So we can't shoot, 2, 3 weeks ahead and get them all rolled in because so much of this stuff is live. It's what's going on right now.
Well, yeah, because the information that we do right now, I mean, today's show, we're live. We're talking about stuff that I literally am going to talk about something that literally was launched 4 hours ago.
Right.
So,
but being able to be consistent in whatever it is you're going to choose to do, and if it's going to be, producing videos, producing, whatever it is, you build trust with your audience when you do that. So setting the plan and then sticking with the plan is absolutely vital. When I was years and years ago, I worked for a very large company, and we had a mall kiosk. And there was a team of us, a sales team, and we would all take turns. Well, I chose the worst day of the week. I chose Friday, and I chose to work a full 14-hour shift.
good Lord, on a wall.
Okay. Yep.
Whew,
And
that's a lot of
having
work.
the kiosk.
That's
But-
the days when malls were malls.
Yes.
Not
Yeah.
today.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it's a ghost town until about
No.
2 times a day,
No,
and
no,
then
no.
that's it.
No, this was 20 years ago. But the key was...
You didn't have to watch silver sneakers run around.
Yeah, there you go. But the key was I was consistent. I was there every Friday. Now, there was a team of 6 or 7 other guys who were working all the other days and hours and taking turns. I'll do the morning shift, you do the afternoon shift. We'll all take turns because it's really important that they're actually going out and selling, that they're actually going out and meeting the people, and they're actually doing their prospecting. And I said, no, Fridays I'm there all day, every day, or just from open to close. And in the holiday season, that was extra fun because they were open an extra 2 or 3 hours a day. But I never missed. And the fun part was I pulled more business out of that mall in 14 months than the other 6 guys combined. Because I was consistent.
Right.
Because people knew, they would call in on Monday and say, hey, I overheard some guy on Friday talking about. They knew it had to be me because I was there on Fridays.
Right.
And so all Friday leads were obviously mine. Everything else was all jumbled all over the place. But now, you don't have to stand there every Friday afternoon. You can be in front of all of your prospects every Friday morning, every Tuesday morning, whatever it is the best time, and we can look at the demographic research and we can pull up when your audience is actually most likely to open an email from you or look at a post from you or see you on Facebook or wherever it is you're going to be, and realize this is the best time for me to reach my people. And so this is when I will be talking to my people religiously. And with that, you build trust, you build credibility, and when you have, the trust and credibility of your prospects, it's very easy to then convert them into clients.
And
But
you have examples, right?
I do. One of the best examples I have seen in a long time is a young woman in Manhattan who she sews and she hand sews, and she's got her
So what?
degree.
Ah,
So what? She does historical sewing.
Okay.
And she started off
Hysterical.
with her degree in historical clothing, and then she went to work in the costuming departments in Broadway, and she's only like 25 years old. Okay, but what happened was she was,
young
Bernadette
whippersnapper.
Banner.
She's a young whippersnapper.
She is incredibly young, but she was consistent. And she put stuff out, and she grew her Facebook group, and she's got this great wit and dry sense of humor, and she knows her stuff. She's an expert in her field. And so what happened was she was putting out regular videos. And then one of the videos she put out, which is virtually identical to all the others, but this one happened to be on a subject that really mattered. It was on dispelling the myths of corsetry. And so she happened to put that one out, and she had, I don't know, under 10,000 followers on her Facebook channel at the time. She'd grown it to 10,000, which is pretty impressive all by itself. Okay, but that was through consistency, and then this one blows up. And within no time it had 150,000, 200,000 views. And then 500,000 views. And pretty soon she's watching her numbers grow from 10,000 to 20,000 to 50,000 to 100,000 followers on her Facebook channel. But she doesn't change anything about what she's doing. It's not like, woohoo, I hit the jackpot. It's like the next week there's another video, the next week there's another video. And she tracks, because now she doesn't really, she was able to quit her job. And what she does is she's a full-time content producer in what she does, which is really great. But most of our clients actually own their businesses, and they're operating businesses, and they need to do more than that. So she's a great example of how consistency and the look and everything with the brand can be amazing. And it's great that she has the ability. She's a one-person operation who's learned to do it all herself. She's brilliant, and she does an amazing job. Not every business owner can do that, though. Right. You actually have to be out there helping customers, working on computers. You can't be spending 60 hours a week creating your content. So what we have, one of the most important things she does is, of course, the video. And it is absolutely consistent in the look, consistent in the feel. If you watch this program, about the only change you'll see is the placement of the desk. But the lighting, the set, everything else is the exact same week after week. The sound quality, everything about it is absolutely premier every week. And you tune in for that and you expect that. And that's what you get with Tech Shamans, because we happen to have a video tech guru. He's just here somewhere.
Watch it all on YouTube. Thank God for YouTube.
Oh, there he is. And but the point is, that kind of consistency in video production, you're not going to get it sitting at home with your with your iPhone, trying to set it up and trying to produce stuff. I've seen people try to do it. Two things happen. Number one, it doesn't look good, because I'll bet you're not a professional editor. Right. And number two, you're also, because it's just you don't have the accountability. And so you're going to end up, not doing it this week. I'll push it off. I'll wait. Oh, now it's late. I got to get it done, and it's going to look like crap. And it's not going to be on brand with you for what you're trying to create. So having, someone who's helping you with your video production is absolutely crucial to making sure you're consistent, unless you want to be like Bernadette and spend 60 hours a week, 70 hours a week just creating your internet content. Now, she can make money on that because the ads on her YouTube channel, as well as her Patreon account, pay more than she needs every month to live in Manhattan. I'm going to say it again. She lives in Manhattan, and this is what she does. Okay? And this is her form of employment. So her cost of living is not cheap. So she's able to do it, but it is a full-time job. So really, the key is consistency, but more than consistency, I was also at a trade show last weekend, and we were looking at some amazing technology. It wasn't necessarily about marketing, but the technology that is coming out is phenomenal. But as I was walking up and down the aisles in the vendor room, I was looking at, you know, which booths were crowded and which booths were empty. And it was no fail. People who were standing there talking about their products and what the features were of their products were dead empty. People that were standing there talking about the client, with the client and the client's problems, and perhaps how the feature on this new product would benefit them, their booths were packed. So there's a message there that's really important, and that is, don't just go out there and throw up about what you have and talk to them about what they have. Engage them about what they need.
Right.
There's an old saying in sales, people don't want to buy a drill, they want to buy a hole. So sell them a hole. Tell them everything you can about how amazing the hole is going to be, and then they just buy whatever drill bit you put in front of them because you obviously understand their needs. And that is key to your content creation, and then make it consistent. So
Smart.
yeah,
So see, consistent.
part of what we got.
I've preached to every client I've ever had in the past, since we started WeBeam TV, doing this, that everybody wants to go. When you first start talking to people about it, they're like, "Oh, well, so how fast can we do 13 episodes?" I said, "You're not going to do 13 episodes. You're on weekly."
Right.
No, I know you're gonna miss here and there. We'll run a rerun every now and then, or we'll do a best of. But this is not television. We don't do fall and spring and summer and in winter seasons. We don't. You're every single day. So, and they're like, "Well, that's expensive." I said, "You're going to spend $14,000 a year with me." I know what the number is. It's $1,000 a week, or $1,000 a month, and there's a $1,250 a month because sometimes there's 5 months, but then there's some holidays in there, so it all works out. And they're like, "Well, that's really not that bad." I'm like, "I know." To have potentially 52 shows, you're only going to spend $14,000. Back in the day, when I had to do this full 3-camera switch, audio, lighting, the whole 9 yards, $14,000 wouldn't even buy you half a show. One show.
Yeah.
One show.
Wow. But that's
Because
technology.
typically, because every Rob's been on me. No, he hasn't been on me heavily, but he's like, "Yeah, we need a rate card." So I'm like, "Okay." So everybody's like, "I need a rate card. Give me a rate card." I'm like, "We don't do rate cards. We're a flat fee. It's this blah blah blah." So I made a rate card, and then I showed it to a couple people, and they pooped their britches. Literally, almost pooped their britches. Because when they said, when I got down to it's $225 per finished second, they're like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's reality, baby. You want a rate card? There's a rate card." And they're like, "Oh my God." I'm like, "Yeah, it's expensive. 3D work, true 3D work. I'm not talking about taking the name of your company and making it 3D. I mean, animated 3D stuff, right? That's $350 per second. How many seconds do you want to buy?" then all of a sudden it's like a budget comes. "Well, I didn't budget for that." Well, okay, then 3D is probably gone.
Right.
Yeah, we'll
Oh, yeah,
put
it's
your
the first
name
thing
in.
that goes.
We'll go to Photoshop or Adobe Illustrator. We'll 3D your name and here you go. There's your 3D, right? But anyway, so I am going to talk today about because I am the video dude. Did you know?
No.
I know you didn't know because that's why. NVIDIA, who is the maker of what?
Everything. No.
Dude, it seems like it. Oh my God, does it seem like it? Okay, so NVIDIA is known for their video cards.
Correct.
Right? Now they have a video service. Just like Apple, just like Amazon, except they're not creating their own content.
Oh, okay.
They're just a portal. So you have this, it's called the NVIDIA Shield TV, and they have a TV Pro. So they have two versions. It's a little tube, probably about that long, about that big around, and you have a triangular remote, right? So you can get on there and you can see it has Netflix, Plex, Prime, Sling, Spotify, Vudu, all this other stuff, and it has the NVIDIA games.
Oh, okay.
So you can kind of game on it, right? and it's just another dongle for your TV that's HDMI.
So they're using the NVIDIA Tegra chip?
Kind of, yeah. So it's the same thing that they use. Yeah, so Apple TV is about
Looks
that
like
big.
a fuel pump.
Yeah, about that big. So the tube is about that big.
Looks like a fuel filter or fuel pump from a car.
Battery charger.
There you go.
You
Yeah,
know?
yeah, almost, yeah.
Yeah, backup battery for a for a phone.
You plug your micro SD in to run it, and then you have an HDMI. It has 3 gigabytes of RAM. So the price on this thing is going to be about $200,
Yeah.
which is kind of the same as an Apple TV.
Yeah.
So to me, if I'm going to go that far, I'll just go get an Apple TV.
Yeah. Which we have.
But it does have video upscaling mode. So you can actually take what you see, and if you have a 4K television, you could push it to 4K. To me, why would you do? Oh, there it is, right there. Well, that's the Shield. That's different. This one I'm talking about is the actual. Yeah, there's 2 versions.
Literally,
that's
a
the
little
Pro.
1-inch pipe.
So yeah, so that right there is the Pro version, right? That is the 4K version, which still is kind of cool.
Was that about 300 or 400?
Yeah. So to me, it's like okay.
See, I noticed the controller, the remote has a Netflix.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it has all that stuff on it.
Well, I'm saying it has specifically a Netflix button.
Yeah.
means it
Well,
might
I mean,
be
I have
partnership.
2 big TVs in here.
Yeah.
And one's got Hulu,
Yeah.
the big Hulu button, and one's got the big Netflix button. So it depends on who they partnered with and blah blah blah.
What is the other box?
Okay, so
that was really common at the beginning.
Roku.
Roku. That's right.
Yeah.
I've got Apple
Actually,
TV and Roku. Yeah.
Apple did it before anybody did.
Yeah.
And then it was Roku,
Yeah.
then it was Amazon jumped in, and it was just all, you know, big. So yes, the TV Shield Pro is $199.99, which was the square box that looked like a spaceship. And then the TV, the round tube, is $149.
Oh.
So it was, you can get it at Amazon, Newegg. They're already starting to sell them, and it's kind of funny in the review. It's like totally tubular, dude. So it's like, yeah. So the Pro's got 16 gigs of RAM, which is storage of 16 gig, and then the RAM is 3 gigabytes, and then the little one is 8 gigabytes of storage and 2 gigabytes. But it has.
Why does that matter? What does that do? More memory, it can basically store.
Well, when you're
buffer more. of what you're
when
watching,
you're doing 4K, it's got to be able to pull that down to be able to push it to the TV.
and then buffer it.
Right.
So yeah, it's your buffer.
Because if you
memory.
have shitty
Okay.
internet, like if you have
Yeah.
Spectrum,
Yeah.
right? You need that buffer time in there to let it kind of Dude, I remember
Not
when
anymore.
I remember when the Apple TVs first came out,
Yeah.
and you could rent the movies. You'd hit play. You had what you did is you started play, and then you hit pause,
Right.
walk away, get yourself a soda, get
Exactly.
yourself a drink,
Come back
whole
and
nine-
let it buffer.
come back because the internet was so crappy, and then you hit go, and it kind of did okay.
Yeah.
Same thing with Verizon and then FiOS.
Right.
And when Spectrum or Time Warner and Bright House,
Right.
when you could rent the movies online,
Right.
you had to hit start,
Yep.
walk away, because their internet was never quick.
No.
Well, that is
No,
not
not
the
up here.
internet. That is that's a backline feed from them that it could never. The buffer was always kicking its butt. So it's like nah. So that's the new video thing today. I am going to talk about and I didn't see this until I got here this morning, which I literally drove in from Orlando today. Skydio 2. Okay, so Rob showed me this. I'm like, bam! So it's the self-flying future of drones, and it starts for $9.99. Now it starts at, but they also have a Skydio R1, which is $2,500. But this thing runs off of. You can run it off your phone. You can get the controller, right? I don't know if maybe he'll. Hey, if you can, Rob, put a couple of those up on the screen. So you can fly it with your phone. It goes into a controller. Things about this big.
Okay.
It's a little tiny thing, right?
Right.
The only thing about these I don't like is they don't have really good articulating. They don't camera. You have to dip.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but it's nothing. Okay, so in my ear I get, oh yes it does. It has articulating, but it's nothing like what you get on the DJIs, where you can go straight down.
Yeah,
This one you
my
cannot
big
go
one
straight down. I'm looking at it. There's no
everything.
way you can go straight down.
Yeah, mine.
Right?
Mine
So
does
you
the
have
whole
to
9
dip.
yards.
You have to dip into fly or go low to fly. And my question is, you ever heard the term out drive your lights? Your headlights?
Yeah, never drive faster than you can see.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So this morning, and I know reason I'm just going to give you the example. This morning I was coming back, and I always go back roads from Orlando.
Oh yeah.
So it was foggy, and I was going a little too fast on the back road. I started out driving my lights. So this right here is, do you outfly your vision? Because these cameras, they know to adjust, or how you're filming. Do you ever see prop wash? The little side pieces of props. If you turn too quick, do you get that? So I'd like to get one and play with it. I've got DJIs, so I like mine. I like the fact that I'm underhung and I don't ever get to see. I can, and if I know that I'm going to do a quick up, then I go down a little bit with my camera, so when I pop up, I don't get my upper propellers. So, just coming. Now, so that right there. As we're showing right now, that is the drone flying by itself.
That's on track mode.
Yeah, so you have a little dongle, like a little remote.
Right.
And then you get to tell it, hey, follow this remote. Or if you're using the controller, the phone controller, you can tell the controller, you can actually get a group of 4 people, which they do, and they show you that they give you 1, 2, 3, 4, and you go 2. And then, and that one, and it's smart enough to know that, yeah. So there's the ways you can fly this.
Okay. How was that thing tracking through the trees? Unless it
has avoidance system.
It has
360-degree avoidance.
Wow, that is impressive. Because mine sure doesn't. I've gone through more blades in oak trees.
Okay, so here's the thing. So say you go into a wooded area.
Yeah.
It follows the beacon. It knows to go around and wait for you.
Nice.
Yeah. So
nice.
I want to get one and try one. I just got to figure out how to see if I
love
can
the features, and the one thing that mankind has never been able to get over.
What's that?
23-minute battery life.
Can't.
Yeah. Yeah, I got about
Everything sounds great, but it's just like our
23 minutes.
old school internet.
You better have an extra battery.
Yeah.
Or 4, depending on how much you do. It does have a return to home, blah, blah, blah. It has a safe thing. So, because a lot of
you're riding your bike, it's trying to return home. It's like, I'm running out of gas. Stop me.
Well, it stops. It calculates travel time, so it knows to go back when the battery's dead. Or you get a warning going, and then you can just say, "Come to me."
Yeah.
Kind of cool. So
stop performing that cool stunt.
So yeah, exactly. Don't do that now. So I wanted to talk about that now.
That is
I'm going to come back over to, because this is important. Facebook has trained AI to full facial recognition systems.
Oh boy.
And it works on live video. How about that? You're talking about skewing the curve.
Wow.
Yeah. It says Facebook remains embroiled in a multi-billion-dollar judgment lawsuit over its facial recognition practice, but that hasn't stopped the Artificial Intelligence Research Division from developing technologies to combat the very misdeeds of which the company are accused. So not only are they accused of it, now they're going, well, we'll just go to workaround and we'll do it when we want to do it.
Did you know Alexa's getting smarter?
Yes. Well, that's where I was going to.
Did you hear, and I have a really fun
What is
example.
Alexa doing now?
Well, I have Alexa attached to my SmartThings hub, which controls the outlets in the house.
Right.
So I have it turning on and off the front light, which I named front light.
Right.
Because eventually I'll have a backlight. And so if you said outside light, it would.
You need to differentiate.
My wife would constantly tell Alexa, turn off outside light. I don't know what outside light is, would be the response. I don't see an outside light.
Right.
That would be a normal response because I never programmed it with that such.
Right.
Well, it finally decided that it's starting to think it knows what she wants, because afterwards she'd correct herself and say front light. So now what Alexa is saying is, did you mean the front light? And I will turn off the front light.
Yeah.
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 You know,
No, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that.
I had a similar experience to that out at one of the parks. When I was at the trade show, our setup time was wrong by 6 hours. And so I looked in and I realized I was only 12 minutes away from Galaxy's Edge, you know, the new Star Wars area at Hollywood Studios. So I'm like, well, I know where I'm going for the next hour or two, you know. So I drove in, parked, got out of the car, walked into the park, did what I wanted to do there, you know, had lunch, whatever, came back out and realized I had not remembered where I parked. I hadn't looked at the aisle number. I had done nothing. I hadn't taken a tram. So
But your phone
I
knew.
had no idea. So I just said, hey, Siri, where am I parked? And now, of course, all my devices are going off.
No.
But I hadn't pinned it. I hadn't tagged it. I had done nothing. But she's like, oh, yeah, you're over here. Start walking. And bang, she led me right to my car,
Right.
even though I had not ever told it to do that. So, yeah, they're getting very smart
I
in their
know,
young age.
and augmented reality too. It's like the Star Wars,
Jedi Challenge?
the one that's in at. The
Yeah, I don't know.
Springs.
Oh, Disney Springs.
Disney
Yes,
Springs.
yes,
Okay.
yes.
That whole backpack,
Uh-huh.
which is an HP computer on your back, that whole simulation,
Yeah. Haven't done that one yet.
dude. If you want to see what the potential and the beginning
Yeah.
of the true augmented reality is,
Right.
when they can build a prop, okay, without, they can just use squares of foam
Right.
and stuff and just chairs and things, and the computer system can overlay whatever it wants to over it, including, you're in a stormtrooper's
Right.
uniform. You reach a mock gun on the shelf, and it looks like a real gun. Now you're interacting with an environment, and you hands can open and close, and there's nothing else that you have to wear because it's all tracked by cameras. And the only thing that requires is the cameras to get better and to see better before they really start. And you, when you experience that, and like when you're going, did you ever try it? Dude,
I can't do stuff like that right now.
when you go through, there's a spot in the film in the game where and you walk free. There's no cabling on
Yeah.
you. There's
Oh,
just
wow.
the headset
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and
It's all
then your
Bluetooth.
hands.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the camera's on your. I mean, the whole
But you're
computer
walking on
system's
a
on the back.
treadmill, though, right?
No.
No.
You're walking in a
in a
true true environment, a true like a warehouse. I took my goggles off. It's just props that are not. There's nothing on them because the game overlays. It's
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So it's just gray foam, but
Yeah.
when you open it up, it's the chess table.
exactly
From inside
and you're
the Millennium
walking. And
Falcon.
I was
Yeah.
walking, dude. This is the coolest thing. I'm walking over lava. Okay,
Yeah.
and they have this area that you're walking on, and they had heat.
Yeah.
Blowing, and they had the
feel it.
sulfur smell,
That's cool.
and your sensory was just blown out of the water, and I was like, "This
It's
is
not a
this is-
flat. It's probably a little bit crinkly
Yes,
to walk on.
it was the greatest. It was the greatest experience.
That
It was
has
something
got
that,
it. Wow.
and it blows your mind where things can and will go.
Yep.
See, because I have Jedi Challenge,
Yeah.
which is the lightsaber
Oh, yes,
augmented
yeah.
reality. Which I mean, the first time I put that thing on, and and you can play chess, the Millennium Falcon chess game, and I'm standing there and I'm like, this is amazing. And then I'm like, wait a minute. I walk all the way around the chessboard. I look at
Yeah.
it from underneath, and it's not there. It's not in the room,
That's
but
cool.
it's there.
Yeah.
Well-
So yeah, it's amazing what they're coming up
So
with.
Facebook fired back. The one the reason I always give you the bad, then I'll give you the semi-positive. The one thing that they're developing the software for really is to figure out. They're trying to get rid of the deep fake videos,
Okay.
and that's what they say it's really for. They're never going to use it for anything other than to run and see if they can figure out how deep fake videos are actually getting through and not getting caught like they're supposed to be getting caught.
Okay.
Because the deep fake videos are really that good.
Yeah, which is why I'm like, how does facial recognition help them with a deep fake video?
Well, because true facial recognition, that's the hard part to beat. So if they can figure out how to beat it, and how these people are beating the system now, it just gives them more security. That's how
they'll just get better.
Yeah.
You know?
So they're trying to be ahead of the whole thing before, I get it. It's like being preemptive. Instead of being reactive, they're getting preemptive to make sure it doesn't happen. So, last thing I'm going to talk about is I was going to jump over to Microsoft Leak reveals Windows 10 X will be coming to laptops.
Yeah, we'll see what that.
Yeah, but Apple launches the new iPhone with the ProMotion displays at 120 hertz refresh rate next year. So there's a brand new phone coming. 12's already being developed.
Sounds like they're trying to switch over into augmented reality.
How about that?
Yeah. That's going to be awesome.
That's why I was trying to get back to that because I'm like, yep,
Yeah.
that's it right there.
Time to do some more research.
Yeah. Woo.
That's right.
Honey, I need that new phone. Why? It's research. It's all about the research. We were going to talk about the iconic Motorola walkie-talkies entering the smartphone age.
Ooh.
Really?
Yeah. Okay. So since we have 50, we don't have enough time.
No.
But yeah, it's going to help. It's going to help police officers like track your tag number and stuff. We'll talk about it next week.
Oh, yeah. That
We'll make
sounds
this.
like fun.
We'll make
Yeah.
this next week.
Teaser.
Teaser. Yes, and there was there one more? Oh yeah. By the way, the Samsung space selfie balloon crash lands in a Michigan farm. We'll just leave it at that.
Space selfie?
Way to go, Samsung. Yeah,
they've
it
been
is what it
having some
is,
issues
though.
lately.
But anyway, thanks for watching. We appreciate it. If you have any questions for us, you can go to techshamans@webeamtv.com, which I do get several. I don't like one. That battery's bad. We are, just if you got a question, email us. We'll answer it for you. Some of the questions we scrub through, and no, I am not going to ever shave the beard. It's not going to go away. With that being said, thanks for watching today. We will talk to everybody next week.
We got the plans 'cause we are the Tech Shamans. We understand 'cause we are the Tech Shamans. Dude, I got this cool thing to show you. Really, man? Yeah, it's far out and technical and stuff. Awesome. Yeah. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Cool.